Ron Burgundy in 3, 2, 1. Good evening, Tampa. I'm local legend. Legendary reporter. Alright, redo.
Sorry, I had a cough.
Good evening, Tampa. I'm local legendary reporter Ron Burgundy, and I'm here tonight to interview a fine young man, a young man who, in fact, may be the finest young man in the world, of all the world. You'll be glad that I brought him to you. In fact, I'm quite a big deal around here, a very big deal. But enough about me. Let's get back to this fine young man. Let me introduce to you Mr. Scott Powell.
I'm not Scott Powell. I'm Scott Hudson, and I'm here to talk to you about my freshman year and about my life.
Oh, so now he's the professional journalist. Okay, I'll let that one slide. So, Mr. Scott Hamilton, the famous skater, how did you transfer from middle school to high school as far as that impacting the rest of your year?
Well, it was pretty tough, but it was really hard because junior high is so much different from high school, because especially in size. Plus, I didn't have some of the same classes as my friends, and after a while, we started becoming a little separated, and we had our own little cliques.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Question number 2. How did the beginning of the school year compare to the end of the school year?
Well, at the beginning of the year, it was a bit challenging, but then at the end of the year, I became more accustomed to my surroundings.
Accustomed, you say? Why, oh why, would you want to become accustomed? During the first day of high school, what challenges did you face? And I mean challenges.
Well, my biggest challenge was trying to find my classes, and there were some bullies along the way, and just trying to fit in socially.
Fitting in socially, that's something that this reporter here knows a lot about. In what way did you handle these challenges?
Well, I met some friends along the way, like my new friend Wesley, who also helped me out on my bullying problem, which is actually how we met, because he always asked for my lunch money.
Oh, lunch money, buddy. I get it. So, after the first week of school, what changes did you see in your social life?
At first, I didn't really notice a change, but towards the end, I became more great with my friends and my own little group.
Tell me, how did you react when your mom told you she was pregnant?
I was really surprised at first, but I was a little angry, too.
Angry? Angry why? Angry? After you found out your mom was pregnant, why did you write tips for your sibling?
I wanted to make sure my little sibling was prepared for the harsh trials of high school.
Were you hoping for your sibling to be a boy or a girl?
Mostly a boy, because I don't really know how it would react to a little sister, and plus I would have more in common with a little brother.
Did this affect your work at school the next day?
Yes, because in every single one of my classes I was thinking about how I wasn't going to be the youngest Hudson anymore. It was pretty tough.
Oh, poor me, not the youngest Hudson anymore. I did start off this interview as saying that you are a spectacular young man, but now I'm starting to have my doubts, but that's okay. We shall move on. When Mr. Franca asked you about the newspaper spot writing book reviews, what were your thoughts on joining?
I was real hesitant at first, so I turned down the offer. But then when I found out my girl Julia was on, I tried to ask him about it, but he found someone else to do it.
No, your girl. I get it. When you found out someone took your newspaper spot writing the book reviews and then later found out it was Mouth, what were your thoughts and reactions?
Well, I was really shocked and amazed that Mr. Franco would choose someone like Mouth to write book reviews. Mouth wasn't really that great picking good books to read or even write about.
Well, after you were picked to write articles on sports events, did you think it was wise to use one of your English techniques in your article?
I believe it was wise to put the technique in my article because I was not really a sport kind of guy. And I didn't have a lot of stuff to say, especially the way some of the teams were. Can we redo that?
Redo your answer.
All right. I believe it was wise to put the technique in my article because I'm not really a sport kind of guy, and I didn't have a lot to say, especially the way some of our teams were playing.
When your brother Bobby called for help after he was put in jail for parking tickets. I've been put in jail for much worse. I will talk about that later. What were your reactions toward it?
I was a little scared at first until I knew what it was for, but then I was happy to see him. But not from jail.
I see. After your parents returned the Bobby back to your house, what thoughts were going through your mind, young Jedi?
That it was really... Did you just call me a Jedi?
Oh, that's right. You do have to earn that name.
That it was really awesome to see him since I haven't seen him in God knows how long. But I was thinking about how long he has been gone and now he was finally back home.
Quite interesting. Interesting indeed. My last question for you. After a whole year as a freshman, what did you feel after a crazy year like that had gone by?
I felt really overwhelmed and amazed through the whole entire experience.
Well, there you have it, Tampa. That is one strong young man who faced many adversities, like this anchor here. As I always say, stay classy, Panthers.